here. I've learned a lot today. I'd have to tell Tom, too, that we've been looking at the Google robot video, and we decided in the end it's all run by QR code. If anyone hasn't seen it, go see it, because they also prove that when you knock the robot down, it stands back up and goes right back to what it was doing. And they knocked it down so many times in the video, we decided as it went out the door, it was on its way to HR to report, because they just kept knocking it to the floor. So my name is Peggy Gulick. I'm with Agco. I'll tell you a little bit about Agco as we go through here. We're a leading manufacturer and innovator in agricultural equipment. So some of our brands you can see right here. We make very highly complex, low volume machines. So unlike automotive, but like automotive. So every unit that goes down our line, I call a snowflake. They're all different, they're all configured to the customer, and very, very complex on the floor. You can see we're a $7 billion company. We're global, and we are using technology and innovation throughout our global offices. We do call it Industry 4.0 in the next revolution, and we're trying to make sure we stay connected. First, I wanted to talk to you all a little bit about what actually Laura was just saying. You can't be disruptive and innovative the way we are without having a foundation. So I'm going to preach a little bit to you here about lean. That's my role. I believe that what we're doing in our digital world right now in Agco is actually simply continuous improvement. We're moving forward. So we have a culture of policy deployment. This is our leadership team standing at the wall. It's a living, breathing wall. It's our top initiatives for the year. We all believe in those initiatives, and that's what drives goals and performance all the way down to the floor. We also have a very simple lean daily management system on our floor. All of our employees meet at shift startup. Then they have a department meeting, and then we have a leadership meeting. So obviously communication is critical to what we're trying to roll out to the floor. I will show you here too that it's all standardized, right? Everything is on a control point sheet. Everyone knows exactly what the expectations are when they go into that meeting. And that leads to the environment that we live in. So we're a problem-solving environment. So although everyone's jobs are standardized, we want them thinking every day out of the box. Who knows the job better than the person standing on the floor doing that job? So we have programs, they're called Kaizen action sheets. The employees can submit them. We have awards for them on a monthly basis. Last year we saved almost $750,000 in just employee ideas that we could easily cost out. So that's not even the ones that had soft benefit that came back into the company. And the employees are really good now at knowing I have to stop, I have to figure out what the problem is, I have to get to the root cause so that that problem never actually comes back again. So they are empowered to change their own environment. Which leads to what Laura said. So we had a problem in 2012. It was the quality teams did not like having to get off of the equipment, very large equipment, to go over to a computer and enter in the check, 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 check that they'd gone through all the inspection. So they had their own little Kaizen event, 3-day event, and they came back and said, we've got it. We just need tablets. We need to put tablets on the floor. We can carry them with us. We can take them on and off the equipment. They're with us. We're answering. We can take pictures. And that really quickly turned into an IT problem because all of a sudden the tablets were being dropped from the tops of tractors, no warranty available over 4 feet. We all know that when we're in the hardware side. And so IT about twice a month was having to replace tablets very quickly to the floor so that they can continue on with their jobs. So IT then had their own little Kaizen event, and they sat down and they came up with 2 solutions. One was duct tape, a lot of duct tape, so that we could tape all the devices to our employees, because it was very frustrating and very expensive. Those are $3,000 rugged tablets that we were using on the floor. And that same month, we got the first notice of consumer product called Google Glass. And my team came in and gave me that tongue-in-cheek approach to, hey, but why don't we try this, thinking I'd say no. And we brought them in and we tried them. So that's the journey we've been on, and that's the journey I'm going to talk about now, and then I'll give you a little bit of the benefits that we've come out on the other side of it. So here's where we started. I spoke to you guys about the problem solving. We had the first pair of hardware that came in, 1 pair. We brought them in, we played with them a little bit and realized you can't do anything with these on the floor, right? You can't type, you can't put passwords in, you can't connect them to your current tools, you have no safety glass. But we knew that there was some value there somewhere, so we stayed very true on the course to proving out the option versus just setting them aside. So we found an application developer actually in Belgium, went through a medical industry to find, they were already using glass in the medical field, to find someone in Belgium, Peter Verstraeten with Prosthetics, who partnered with us immediately, having the same vision we did and knowing the benefit it could have in an enterprise like a manufacturing facility. Then you have to get past your IT department, right? So the infrastructure, risk, putting things in the cloud, storing information, sharing information, and we had a great, between Peter and our company Agco, great partnership in making sure that we were secured on what we were actually going to try to store and input back into the procedure. Safety was the next one. So we got the application on the glass, where also we were very, very adamant. You know, you go into your projects and say, these are the absolutes. For some reason, in my head, I don't know why, but an absolute was no tethering. I don't want a battery pack. I don't want to be tethered to a phone. I want to be able to have my application running on my glass so that I can put my glass down, put my glass up, and start right where I stopped. So we had a no tether policy on it. So we got our application and we put it on glass, and we walked out to the floor to say, hey, look what we have, and realized we can't walk out the office door because there's no safety wear on the glass. So we went up to our PPE 3M, and they very nicely made us 12 prototypes by hand so that we could come back to our floor and put these in the hands of our quality team to see if it was even a viable tool. Now you have to remember, when you get to that point, we were testing, we were at ground level pioneering this solution. We had to make sure it didn't give our employees headaches, they didn't overheat, the battery life was long enough, that the wearability to the user didn't cause safety issues versus what we were trying to do, reduce safety issues, right? I mean, are they looking at the glass? So we went through all of that piece of it. Took us about 3 months to really prove that out. We had some experts come in and watch the employees as they were working in them. And we realized that the glass was actually a great tool. Short battery life when we first started with them, so we had 2 pair for every user with charging stations that they just plugged in as they went off to break. I'm not sure everyone's familiar with what all the glass that's out there right now, or the types of wearable devices. There's multiple kinds. We chose very specifically a smart glass, an informed reality, an assisted reality as Google calls it. We don't want to change reality at this point in time. So when you have assemblers on the floor working, we didn't want to overlay it with 20% of more information. We wanted it to be something they could gather the information if needed and actually report back. So we started in the quality area, and here's our quality gate. So this is the first place we went in. Simple checklist, right? Check, check, check. Now the really nice thing is when we see the video, and I have a video at the end of this, they do it all by voice. They love the voice on the glass. She speaks to them, tells them what to check. They answer back, okay, glass proceed, or okay, glass decline. If it's declined, it automatically opens a non-conform that is actually sent off to a quality gate so it can get addressed immediately. So it actually brought our world from this big down to this big with the Internet of Things, where that communication was happening in a lot more direct method to prevent that problem from happening again. As you can see here, the first pilot we had, we actually were a little bit apprehensive to put it out there. We had a 35% reduction in processing time. And we knew what we were going for. We were replacing tablets, and we were trying to make it safer, so you had 2 hands to climb on and off the unit. But in the end, we actually ended up with this massive processing time reduction just based on the fact that it was so simple to get the information to open non-conforms, and there was no paper printed out. So we went from there, had all of that implemented out to our quality gates, especially in our final factory inspections, right? So these are things that took 70, 90 minutes to go through a whole entire unit. You have to drive it out to the track. Now they have glass on. They check it in-house. They drive it out to the track with the glass on. They keep talking to the glass as they do all of their testing, and it's all done into the one tool. It made us think, though, so as we get into these tools, the guys would say to us, hey, it would be really cool if we could see what it's supposed to look like or see a video of what I'm supposed to do if something is not right. So we decided that if it works in quality, why wouldn't that work for standard work instructions on the floor? So we have our employees right now, big tractors going down the line. So to get information, you have to walk over to a monitor on a post, get your information, and come back over. That includes bill of material for line side hardware. It includes all kinds of information that little noggin's got to keep in it, and you hope that you don't get sidetracked on the way back talking to someone to make sure that you can remember the information, or you're going back over to get the information again. We measured it at one point in time. I think it was 36 steps to the monitor, and they were making 25 trips a day. That's a lot of travel time. So again, continuous improvement, lean. Let's cut down on the motion. So we put the glass on the floor. The thing that had to happen here was, in order to get a solution or results, was that we didn't want to rewrite how we do standard work, right? So everyone said, how are you going to do that? You got that little base screen on glass. How are you going to put all that information into there? So we took the standard work that we had, which are images. We have sequenced instructions. We have bills of material. We have torque settings. And we made sure that those were visible on the glass. You could zoom, you can freeze, you can move around with your head. It didn't inhibit the employee's movement, so they had neck pain and eye pain. And we put all those instructions out there accessible via glass. And that one came out to be another 30 to 35% reduction in process time. So you have to remember, high complexity units, low volume. Every unit that goes down to the line is different, and they may not have worked on that particular configuration in 3 months. So whether your employee's been there 20 years or whether your employee's been there 1 week, there's value in having the accessibility to those instructions as you go through that process. The big surprise there, where we just kind of keep standing back on all of our little surprises in our results, is on-the-job training. So I don't know any company that doesn't worry about on-the-job training, whether it comes quality, safety, or productivity. And we reduced our learning curve for on-the-job training 50%. Now, the other thing we have as a company that we're very, very adamant about is every task has 3 people that can do it, every operation, and every person can do 3 operations. So we do a 3x3 training matrix. We've never been able to get to that because we're so high complexity. We can actually get there now because you can move any operator from one workstation to another workstation. As long as they have the instructions with them, they can actually do that job. So we're now at our Assembly Academy is a 2-week academy. We train all of our coworkers coming in now, our employees, in glass. They all know how to use glass when they hit the floor. The place we're doing it right now, and there's some of the AGVs that Tom mentioned, and we're solution people, so we had a brand new line go up, and we had no andon on it yet, and we actually just took some Apple Watches, connected them to some iPhones, and we're doing andon by wrist right now so that they know when one of those 8 lines indexes where to go to pick up the next product and how to bring it to the line just in time. We're just starting to look, or actually we're working in the material kitting and picking area. So we've done a little bit of work on this in Europe, and we're just getting ready to do this back in Jackson. We've been looking at the Kivas and some other devices. Right now, we're more of the assisted to our employees to make sure that they are safer, higher quality, faster in the job that they're trying to do. So we're putting glass on the floor, looking at using, we use ring scanners right now. We're looking a little bit at using RFID bracelets so that it's a simple reach, pull, and record. But that's where we're at right now. The AGVs in our tractor building are the only unit of movement bringing materials to the line. So this is the sort of the aha moment. Like I said, we're problem solvers. So we've been to a couple events like this. Some of them are actually in the technology area of wearables. And a lot of visions out there, right? A lot of people looking at lots of really cool stuff. And we didn't realize that we were sort of leading the way because we were just trying to solve problems. And so we got back in and realized that our tools all talk to each other, right? So my Prosthetics can talk to my iPhone, it can talk to an Android, it can talk to my Windows. It can share information through workflow. So glass for us is just another tool, right? Right tool, right place, right time. It's not for everything that we have within the building. We have about 125 pairs on the floor right now, and we've projected 500 to 1,000 in the next 18 months addition to our plant and our global organization, just from the value that we're seeing in it. So we have a video. I think you guys got the video. And this may show a little bit better what I tried to talk about what's happening on our floor.
From smart devices to intelligent equipment, how connected are you to modern farming? Agco is leading ways in manufacturing to simplify and advance farmers' yields through wearable technologies. We are improving quality by following step-by-step work instructions in weld, paint, and assembly. New hires are equipped with glass as part of their initial training.
Okay, glass. Zoom in. Okay, glass. Proceed.
While glass-prompted advanced final product inspections drive value to our distributors and consumers, glass allows us to collaborate and share with cross-functional teams in real time with hands-free documenting capabilities.
Proceed. No. Take picture.
Glass, along with Proceedic software, will adjust the level of instructions given based on an employee's level, instead of a one-size-fits-all approach. Immediate information allows trending of problems with rapid turnkey solutions. Using glass gives us greater accountability in shipping and receiving.
Okay, glass, proceed.
Okay, glass, add shortage.
Everything happens in real time, including picking up and delivering. Using a single source solution, keeping everyone in the know. Tours are more engaging, while Agco guests are guided throughout the plant.
And when every second counts, advanced technologies like glass help us deliver that.
Welcome to the wonderful world of Agco, leading the way with glass.
Perfect. I think the last point here too is we talked a little bit about big data too. It all comes together right in the end. The amount of information that we get from a lean team, my team, Baxton Jackson, every time an employee now, we'll call it job in and jobs out from any small task in an operation and assembly, we have times on that. So, we're at the predictive analysis level right now of the large data that comes back in from someone wearing and reporting everything that they're doing all day long. And that's helping us to look at the and-on system being more automated, right? You know ahead of time that someone's behind versus they have to hit an and-on light to say, I'm not going to be done when we're done. The other piece of it is the learning management system. We're trying to coordinate the learning management system with every employee and their badge ID. So when I come in and I clock in, it's going to tell me where to go to work that day. It knows what I know, it knows what models are going to go down the line, and it knows the best mix of how to put those people on the floor to make sure that I have the best product for the day. So that's some of the things that we're looking at right now from the data consumed. And that's it. That's our story. Thanks, Laura.